All right, so I've applied the gear down there. Let's see, it's kind of squirted out a little bit. I've put the lolly sticks back on. Top tip, if you get one of these that keeps popping because you're over tightening it, spit on that bastard and stick it back to the window. It works a treat. Another thing I've done as well is I've just put a little bit of extra tissue in here to jack this up so that the glass is sitting flush to the canvas. I don't know how well it's gone, but we'll find out soon enough. I think one thing you definitely want is you want a bit of gear. Sorry, crap video. You want a bit of gear to come through. Sorry, you can't really see it, but you know, you see little smudges. You see that one? You want a little bit of gear to come through to the glass side, and that will assure you that at least, especially because this is the bottom bead, that you've got a seal there. Do you see what I mean? I mean, I've seen people that apply a little bit afterwards, but really, you're probably better off putting it in advance. I just put a normal bead. You know, I've done a practice bead down here, as you can see. Definitely do a couple of practice beads so you know what it's going to be like when you're applying it. You can cut off with a surgical knife, you know, slow job. Just go around and take your time, and you can cut the excess off real gentle, like make it nice and, you know, clean finish. But that's it. I think it's like 2 hours now for it to dry. So I'll just leave it, let it do its thing. Come out and check it every little while, make sure that the suckers haven't let go. Definitely worth putting the suckers in place in advance if you can. And then clean it. You can see there's like a 3-inch gap between the sucker. I've got most of them on this bit set to the middle, but I suppose I could have set them further to the back, give myself more room to work. The ones on the furthest edge are on the very end, and that one's on the closest, so that it can reach basically, so I can fit all the suckers in together. But I think, I hope that is it. So it's about 2 hours to do the whole job, and then you've got your drying time. You definitely need a day like today. I would imagine it's about 15 degrees, a little bit of sun, a little bit of overcast. If you had a garage, that would be ideal, because then I suppose what you do is do it outside, so it's all dry and all the rest of it, and then let it, you know, do the first sort of hour in the sun, because it's UV activated, and then, you know, wheel it into the garage so it doesn't overheat. I think if you did this on a really sunny day, you'd end up having to put something to shade this, because I think the overheating would cause a problem, like it might set too quickly. This is not a job, sorry, crap video, this is not a job to be rushed, without a doubt. Take your time. I've got no gloop on me either, which, oh no, tell a lie, there's a bit. Just really take your time, don't rush. I got a bit panicky there where I was like kind of tightening these up, and then a couple of them popped, you know, gluing it in place and setting the glass so it's as best of adhesion as I can get to the most of the cloth. I was thinking, actually, if you're a joiner or something, or you know a joiner, you could actually do this with G-clamps. But you know, because it's curved, these work really well, because you can really set them in exactly the right position. As you can see, they kind of curve all the way across with the contour of the window. So I definitely recommend these over that. But you could at least test it to see if it's any good. You know, a nice bit of oak or something on top. And then, you know, only problem is obviously you're going to clamp down on the inner cloth, so that might actually damage it. So no, these are the way to go for sure. I'll come back to it when I take the clamps off, and I'll do another video so we can see how it went. Do not put the roof down in a hurry, because it stretches this bottom bit a hell of a lot. There's a lot of pressure on it. If you go and put it down, I reckon it's going to pull the seam of the bead that you've made. So just take your time, let it really dry. I'm not going to be taking these off until the end of the day, basically. One of my favourite cars, just while we're on the subject. I had a Renault Megane 175 DCI tuned to 230 brake before I had this. And to be honest, that was one of my favourite cars of all time, just because you could throw it in any corner. But this is a fantastic car. It needs a bit of TLC. You know, there's the odd scratch and dink, and the wheels are scuffed to bits. They're 20-inch. And they are on, I think it's the Pirelli P0 tyres on there. Really good tyres, really good. Wear out quick, but you know, you really need a lot of grip in the front of these cars because you throw it into a corner like you used to with a hatchback and this thing will let go. There is a way to drive this car. This has got all the options as well. So it's got the Audi Drive Select engine, steering, DSG, and I can't remember what the other thing is. It's got 4 settings on it anyway. And when you put this into full sport, it's an animal. I actually drove it through the Gothard Pass in December a few years back, and it snowed like crazy, but this car just drove through it, straight through it. I actually got stuck in Devon once with this, and I was watching cars struggling, even 4x4s, and this thing was just, you know, pulling itself. The only thing you got to be aware of is when you put your foot on the brake, it won't stop. Anyway, that's enough, you know, waffling on. Fantastic car, definitely. I'll be sad to sell it if I ever do.